Hi, wait. Let me ask you this. Have you ever sat down at the end of the day and thought to yourself, I'm doing everything right, so why do I still feel off? Maybe you've tried supplements. You've walked every morning. Maybe you've even asked your doctor about testosterone, right? But somehow something still doesn't click. You feel a step behind your old self. Not sick, but not fully alive either. Well, you're not alone. Every week, I meet men in their 60s and 70s who say the same thing. Doc, I've tried the pills, the workouts, even hormone therapy, but something still feels off. And more often than not, the answer lies in something they never expected: their water habits. I'm Dr. Laura, and after over 20 years working in men's health, I've seen one silent factor quietly drain energy, dampen mood, and weaken erections, okay? And it's not what you think. It's not about drinking too little water. It's about drinking it the wrong way. Improper hydration, especially as we age, can send the body into a subtle state of stress. A state that weakens blood flow, dulls your brain, disrupts your hormones, and slowly chips away at your sense of vitality. And so today we're going to change that. We're going to uncover 3 silent signs of dehydration most older men miss. I'll explain how hydration is tied directly to testosterone, performance, and mental clarity. And I'll walk you through 5 doctor-recommended tweaks you can start today to feel more energized, focused, and connected to your body, naturally. Let's begin with what no one tells you: the hidden link between hydration and male performance. Do you know, as we age, our body's ability to regulate fluid balance declines. Our sense of thirst dulls. Our kidneys and hormones respond slower. And the result is something called functional dehydration, okay? You might not feel thirsty. You might be drinking plenty of fluids. But inside, your cells, your tissues, are starving for proper hydration. And this isn't about dry lips. This is about cellular flow. Now I want to share the story of Robert. He's 70, retired, used to own a car repair shop. Strong hands, gentle eyes. He came into my clinic one afternoon and told me, I feel like I'm fading. He wasn't in pain, but he had zero energy. Couldn't focus. Sex drive was gone. He tried everything: vitamins, green smoothies, walking daily, even testosterone patches. Still no change. So I asked him a simple question. What do you drink every day? He smiled and said, mostly tea. I love black tea. I drink maybe 5 or 6 cups a day. Sometimes a little coffee too. There it was. Robert wasn't underhydrated in volume, but his body was parched at the cellular level. Tea and coffee, though delicious, act as mild diuretics. Over time, they actually pull water out of your cells faster than you can replace it. Add in the natural decline in kidney function after 60, as confirmed by the Cleveland Clinic, and it's the perfect recipe for low-grade dehydration. Not enough to alarm you, but just enough to sap your energy and dull your drive. I guide him to make a few small changes. Within 10 days, Robert told me he felt more focused in the mornings. His muscles felt less tight. And one morning he said, Doc, things are starting to work again. That's the power of restoring hydration the right way. But how do you know if your body is silently dehydrated? Let's talk about the 3 most common signs, the ones men often ignore. First, midday brain fog. Even mild dehydration can impair memory, reaction time, and focus, especially in older adults. If you're feeling sharp at breakfast but foggy or forgetful by 2 p.m., your hydration rhythm might be off. It's not aging, it's a lack of cellular water. Second, low libido and delayed physical response. Now this one surprises a lot of men. They assume their sex drive is fading because of age or testosterone. And yes, hormones matter, but dehydration affects blood volume and flow. When you're underhydrated, your blood becomes thicker, your vessels constrict, and oxygen delivery slows down. That includes the areas below the belt. The National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases confirms that hydration is essential for proper kidney-liver testosterone signaling, a key axis in male sexual health. Third, cravings for salty or sugary foods, especially in the late afternoon. You're not weak. You're not just snacking out of habit. Often, this is your brain's way of signaling a lack of minerals, a sign that your cells are out of balance. According to Harvard Health, sodium and glucose cravings can be your body's cry for electrolytes, something that proper hydration supports naturally. But when your water intake isn't syncing with your food, or when you're flushing too fast with plain water, those minerals never reach their target. All of these signs, the fog, the fatigue, the frustration, aren't failures. They're invitations. Your body is trying to tell you something. And once you learn to listen, everything begins to shift. So what's next? Well, this is where the shift begins. Because true hydration, the kind that supports circulation, hormones, energy, and sexual performance, isn't just about drinking more water. It's about syncing your water intake with your body's natural rhythms. Think of it like tuning an instrument. You wouldn't just crank the strings harder. You'd listen, adjust, and create harmony. One simple yet powerful strategy I share with my patients is rhythmic hydration. Spacing your water intake in gentle, consistent doses throughout the day instead of flooding your system in bursts. I usually recommend starting your day with 300 to 500 milliliters of warm or room temperature water within 30 minutes of waking up. This gently awakens your digestive system, jumpstarts your circulation, and replenishes fluids lost overnight. Then, aim to drink a small glass every 60 to 90 minutes, sipping slowly and sitting down if possible. Avoid drinking large amounts during meals, as this can dilute your stomach acid and slow digestion. And in the evening, taper off your water intake about 2 hours before bed to avoid sleep interruptions. Now, if that sounds simple, good. It should be. The goal here is not to create a rigid rulebook, but to teach your body to trust the rhythm of nourishment again. When your cells are consistently supported, they begin to relax. Your nervous system calms. Your blood flows more freely. Your hormones balance more naturally. And your energy, both physical and sexual, begins to rise without force or frustration. I've seen men in their 70s transform just by implementing this one principle. They begin sleeping deeper. Their morning stiffness fades. And yes, they begin waking up with stronger, more natural erections. No pills. No pressure. Just giving the body what it needs, in the way it was designed to receive it. But hydration isn't the only factor at play. There's something else most men ignore, even the ones who drink enough water. And if you overlook this one simple element, all your hydration efforts may still fall short. What is it? Minerals. Electrolytes. The hidden conductors of cellular energy and blood flow. Without them, water becomes like a delivery truck with no address to go to. You can flood your body with fluids all day, but if you're not replenishing key minerals like magnesium, potassium, and sodium, especially through food and hydration combined, your body stays in a loop of imbalance. That's why I often recommend adding just a pinch of unrefined sea salt or a mineral electrolyte powder to your morning water, especially for men who sweat a lot or take medications that deplete minerals. Even something as simple as a banana with a glass of water in the late morning can restore balance in remarkable ways. Because remember, hydration is not just about liquid. It's about absorption. It's about flow. And it's about teaching your body to receive again, gently, rhythmically, and with care. This approach isn't a quick fix. It's a reconnection. And when you embrace it fully, your body will begin to thank you, not just in small ways, but in deep, powerful ones. In the next section, we'll talk about how water interacts with nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for opening blood vessels and triggering erections. What most men don't know is that the way you hydrate can either amplify this natural process or shut it down without you ever knowing. Let's explore that next. Let's talk about nitric oxide, the unsung hero of male vitality. See, every time you get an erection, your body is engaging in a beautifully orchestrated process. Your brain sends signals, your blood vessels respond, and nitric oxide acts as the chemical messenger that tells those vessels, "Open up, it's time to flow." But here's the problem. As you age, nitric oxide production declines. And when that happens, even if you have the desire, your body can't respond the way it used to. What does this have to do with water? Everything. Hydration affects your blood volume, and blood volume affects your ability to deliver oxygen and nutrients, including the ingredients your body uses to make nitric oxide. When you're dehydrated, circulation slows, and the cascade that leads to a firm, sustained erection simply doesn't happen. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Studies from institutions like the Cleveland Clinic and Stanford University have shown that men who maintain proper hydration levels and support nitric oxide production through diet and routine have significantly better sexual performance, even into their 70s and 80s. So how do you support nitric oxide naturally? First, hydration, steady, consistent, not rushed. We've covered that. Second, your diet matters. Beets, leafy greens, citrus, garlic. These foods are rich in nitrates and compounds that fuel nitric oxide production. Third, movement. Yes, exercise, even walking, stimulates your endothelial cells to produce more nitric oxide. And fourth, sleep. Deep, restorative sleep helps your hormones rebalance and gives your body the time it needs to repair and regenerate, including nitric oxide pathways. But let me add something most men never consider. Stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol, and cortisol suppresses nitric oxide. So if you're constantly pushing, grinding, never slowing down, it's not just burning out your mind. It's shutting down your body's ability to respond with vitality. This is why I often encourage my patients to develop what I call a hydration pause. Twice a day, mid-morning and mid-afternoon, sit down with a small glass of water, take 5 deep breaths, and simply check in with your body. This tiny ritual does 3 things. It improves hydration, lowers cortisol, and brings you back to a state of connection. And that connection, to your breath, your body, your needs, is the foundation of male health after 60. You are not a machine. You are a living system. And when you give that system what it needs, water, nutrients, rest, rhythm, it remembers. It comes back online. And yes, it performs. Not because you forced it, but because you finally stopped ignoring it. In the final part of this video, I'll walk you through a simple daily hydration plan. Something realistic, grounded, and easy to follow. That brings all of this together so you don't have to overthink it. You just follow the rhythm, and your body does the rest. All right, let's bring everything together into one simple, powerful daily hydration plan. No gimmicks. No overwhelm. Just a rhythm that supports the way your body actually works. Start your morning with 300 to 500 milliliters of warm or room temperature water. Add a pinch of sea salt or a splash of lemon juice if you like. Both help support mineral absorption and digestion. Sit down while you drink. Take a moment to breathe. Let this be your first act of nourishment for the day. Before coffee, before screens, before distractions. Then, every 60 to 90 minutes throughout the day, sip a small glass of water. Don't chug. Don't rush. Just sip. Let it absorb. If you're physically active or live in a hot climate, add an electrolyte-rich snack around midday. Something like a banana, a handful of pumpkin seeds, or a slice of watermelon. Around meals, pause your water 30 minutes before and after eating. This gives your digestive system time to do its job without being diluted. In the late afternoon, check in with your energy. If you feel cravings for salty or sugary snacks, it might not be hunger. It might be your body asking for minerals. Try a mineral-rich drink like coconut water, or simply a glass of water with a few drops of trace minerals added. In the evening, begin tapering off your intake about 2 hours before bed. This helps avoid bathroom interruptions and allows your kidneys to rest. And just before sleep, take one last small sip, not to hydrate, but as a signal to your nervous system that it's time to rest. This rhythm isn't just about fluids. It's about teaching your body how to trust again, how to regulate again, how to reconnect. Because at the end of the day, your vitality isn't found in a pill or a supplement. It's found in how you treat your body moment by moment, breath by breath, sip by sip. So if you've ever felt like your strength is slipping, or your energy's fading, or your confidence is disappearing, I want you to remember this. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's just been waiting for you to pay attention. And with something as simple as water, given in the right way at the right time, everything can start to shift. So today, start small. Choose one habit. Sip slowly. Sit down. Add minerals. Or simply take a pause in the middle of your day and ask yourself, what do I really need right now? You might be surprised how often the answer is already in your hands. Water, rhythm, attention. That's the foundation. And from that foundation, your vitality, your clarity, your strength, your desire can rise again naturally, steadily, and without shame. You're not too old. You're not broken. You're simply ready. And this is where you begin.